Welcome to Living a Healthy, Vibrant Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Harold Chatman. At the current moment, we're not taking any sponsors, but if you wish to support me, visit our website at hvlwell.net. If you're looking for multi-flavored collagens, we have unflavored, we have peach mango, and also strawberry lemonade. If you're looking for a new supplement routine, if you struggle with skin hydration, if you're looking for anything in regards to benefits for your hair, nails, and skin, check us out. And at the current moment, we're at the Panoramic Brand Studio, best podcast studio in Houston. All right, we have a special guest with us, the owner of Champions Driving School, traveled to 44 countries, world traveler, girl dad, lost over 80 pounds, Wilson Roel Farias.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good, buddy. Man, I finally got you on here, man.
Yeah, I know. It's been a little bit.
I know, man. Been a while, man. I've been wanting, ever since I met you, you were kind of curious to me because I seen you in Human.
Yeah.
Then I seen you at Sammy's, and then I seen you at the gym while I work.
Yeah.
And then I started putting the map like, damn, who is this guy? And then I feel like I officially met you at Human.
Yes. Yeah. It was at the opening at the Heights.
Yeah, it was open at the Heights.
Yeah, open at the Heights location. Yeah.
And we was doing they was doing a cold plunge.
Yes.
And
cold plunge,
then your wife was in there too as well.
Yeah, my wife and my niece. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, then Sandy was there.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started putting the gap. Then once I started seeing those places, everything started clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you live a healthy life and you're making healthy choices, you start running into people with the same interests.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what made me make the connection with you because, I started seeing you in different areas where I hang out at.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I may need to connect with this guy. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know? And then everything started from there. Then I asked Bill about you. Then I asked, Sandy about you.
Yeah.
And then see you at my own gym while I work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my going to core is I go to 24 as well, but core is when I just want to just be, because it's pretty private kind of place. So
right.
I really like
So what is your health regimen on a day to day? Because you lost over 80 pounds,
yes.
so obviously I'm sure after losing that much weight, I'm sure you really have a stiff healthy lifestyle.
Yes. I never was a big soda drinker, so I just cut out soda, alcohol. I take a ton of supplements, a lot of supplements. I take so many supplements. My wife, when we go on vacation, I have a whole separate bag.
Damn.
Yeah. It's so when we travel all over the world, obviously you mentioned the 44 countries and I think it's 119 cities and counting. So, it's a pretty stiff regimen, but I'm diligent with the regimen. I take it constantly, and from peptides to I use a lot of DoNotAge.org products and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah.
So what is your eating habits on a
portion control. You know, when I train as much as I do, you're always hungry. You're always tired. You always feel beat up. Right. For me, it's beat up. Because we actually fight. So beat up. When I say I'm beat up, I might have gotten beat up.
Well, especially with the Muay Thai, with Sonny, kickboxing, and it's tiring.
It's very tiring. It's very taxing. It's not unusual for me to burn 6,000 calories in a day, but you got to keep your body fueled and make sure you fuel it with the right foods, healthy foods, whole foods, and just don't put a bunch of junk in your body. That's about it. I just flipped the switch. It took a while.
Right.
It did.
So what made you want to go from this healthy guy what made you translate to that change? What triggered that?
Man, I just wanted to be a better father, a better husband. Mm-hmm. Our businesses are going, they're on the way up. They're on the way up. So, I just, I didn't want to be the guy, be here today,
right?
285-pound guy. You know what I mean? I want to be here today, the guy that, trains Muay Thai 4 or 5 times a week, and works out, 6 times a week, guy. That's who I wanted to be. So,
right.
I knew that that was my future, and I wanted to make the change. So one day I just said that I'm not gonna live like this anymore, and I think I got complacent. You know, you make money, you start making a lot of money, and you start getting complacent with your life. You start feeling like I deserve having 2 desserts at the end of and I don't even eat both of them. I just like
just for the habit.
Can I say bad words?
Yeah. You
Okay. So I just like fuck it. I'm at True Lux and we're having whatever. Don't just bring me the carrot cake. Bring me the whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm just
pile it on.
Pile it on. Fuck it, right? And just changing those habits and every now and then it's okay to indulge in something, but instead of a cheat day for me, because it's a slippery slope, it's a cheat meal.
Yeah, me too.
One meal.
Yeah.
And then I got to earn that meal. So if I'm going to earn that meal, go for a 3, 4, 5 mile run or a Muay Thai class or something like that. And then, have that meal.
Right. That's definitely like a way, like portion control and just, it's no wrong with treating yourself.
No,
in
not
regards
at all.
to, but not instead of fucking up the whole day.
Yeah.
At least get a meal because that alters your mood and your health.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't want to have like a downtrend. You want to give your time a little bit to recover.
Yeah, of course.
In regards to like going forward. So I always advocate of, when you do good for yourself, at least give yourself some grace, like have a little fun instead of just being. So you won't like crash.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My wife and I were just in a fight camp along with my niece, and we really pushed it. Sammy's Muay Thai really just, he put us through it. It was rough, but it got us to where we needed to be. We did very well in our fights, and
oh, you did have a fight last
Saturday. Yeah,
you was telling me about that.
My wife actually fought twice.
She fought too?
Yeah, she fought too. Yeah,
shit.
She fought 2 times. I got to fight once, but she did really good.
Was it like at
it was the MDL, so it's a Muay Thai Development League, and it's really good, man, especially for young kids and people that want to get into the sport. I really enjoyed it.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I just had fun. You know what I mean? Like, you get to punch somebody in the face and not go to jail. It's pretty cool. Fucking awesome.
Somebody not file a suit on you.
No
like
suit,
that.
no nothing. There's an agreement, and then at the end of it, there was a lot of love. You go in there with somebody, and there's no lying. There's no bullshit. It's you and that other person. It's very vulnerable.
Right.
And it's just you guys opposing your will on each other and your skills, which you've worked on, and it's fucking really cool. Yeah.
All right, so I'm finna change this topic. So what do you do outside of your health lifestyle, like for work and?
I own Champions Driving Schools.
Okay.
We have a couple locations. We have one at what's considered Pinehurst, but it's the Tomball Woodlands area. And we've been there for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I have another one on Grant Road. We've been open since 1999.
Damn.
August 2nd of 1999. So it's been over 20-something years. It's been a while. Yeah. So,
how did you, what made you want to get into that?
Oh, that's a great conversation started there. Fuck. Okay, so before that, I owned a real estate company.
Okay.
I was in real estate business, and I started off in the mortgage business and just working for a mortgage company, and then I progressed from there. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was it. I was making stupid money, and I just figured that I knew in 2006 what was there was whispers in the market of derivatives and reverse mortgages and interest only mortgages and all this stuff, and these products were being pushed on us as mortgage brokers, and we were like, well, fuck it, yeah, it's gonna make money, it's gonna save them money. They can buy this. They go from a $200,000 home to $500,000 home, and they can afford it because it's interest only. But what they weren't telling the customers were every time they made a mortgage payment, it was only going to the interest. The principal didn't touch. So if the neighborhood went up in value, then the taxes went up in value.
Yeah.
So now the people were paying more in taxes than they were in their mortgage payment. Yeah. And not only that, the mortgage payment wasn't going towards the principal. So there were bad packages. And that the market was full of them. But me, my clientele was more higher end clientele. So they had great credit, tons of assets, all of them had about $1 million net income, you know, stuff like that. So I didn't think it would affect me, and it did. Yeah, because funny thing about rich people, they know how to stay rich.
Oh yeah, even when like even when the market is terrible, they just know. I don't know, it's more of a mindset, and know like they've been like through the up and down, especially if they've had wealth for a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. When you become wealthy, you start making money. You can always make. Once you learn how to make money, you can always make money.
It gets easier.
It's easier to make the money back, but you will lose it.
Yeah,
it's never gonna just stay. You're gonna lose, not all of it, but you will lose a considerable amount of money. It's just because there's a lot of risks, and you have to have risk to have reward.
That's it. Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a balance. I mean, I don't know a millionaire out there that doesn't have a shit. I lost like almost half my wealth, you know,
right.
or a good percentage of my wealth at one point in time, and now I'm worth this. You know what I mean? So you know.
So how did you like get into the driving school?
So the transition was in 2008. The market crashed. I was somewhat prepared for it, and I needed. My daughter was 1 year old, and she was born in 2007. So and she was a premature baby. She was 26 weeker. So it was a lot going on. I was trying to hang on to everything as much as I could, and I saw that there was going to be an end to my robust cash flow. So I talked to my dad, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I this is all I know. You know, I'm a finance guy. You know, I mean, this is I didn't have the luxury to just go home and like hide. You know what I mean? I needed to do something. I had a small child, and I needed to figure my life out. So I went to my dad's office, and I went in there, and I was like, so what is it to own a driving school? Like, you know, and he was like, well, you own the driving school. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I got a stock certificate right here. You know, you just never signed it. I was like, can I see it? And my name's on there. So a third. And I was like, okay, all right. I said, hey, Dad, let me see the books. And, you know, I'm a finance guy. And I was looking at everything. I was like, hey, you know you make 6 figures? And my dad goes, what's that?
What you mean, what's that?
What? Yeah, he said, what's that?
Oh, shit.
I know, right? Well, he's an old school guy. You know, he's a grinder. You know, and that's all he does is grind. He's 74 years old and he's grinding right now. You know, but I was like, hey, where do you pay yourself? He's like, I don't. I was like, what? I was like, you had this company over 10 years. You don't pay? He's no, I just put it back in the business. So now I'm salivating.
Yeah, now you think.
So I'm looking for the balance sheet, and it is nice, and it's padded, and I'm like, so you're liquid. He was like, what's that? So obviously, I grabbed the stock certificate right away, and I signed that fucker. And I make a deal with him. I'm like, hey man, so if I start a driving school and I can turn a profit my first year, and he starts laughing at me right away. He's like, there's no way. It took me 6 years to even like be able to pay rent on time, you know, that kind of shit, you know. Right. And I was like, no, just give me 12 months, but I want to be CEO and president. We got a deal? Because I'll teach you how to do all this, or I'll just do all this stuff that you don't know, and but I need that title. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, whatever, like, what, you know, laughing at me basically, you know. But I mean,
because he couldn't do it.
Yeah, because he was like, there's no way. Mm-hmm. And then where I was going to locate the business, there's 10,000 population, and where he has his the first company is it's over 250,000 population. Cyprus. I mean, they have now they have like 20 schools or something. Yeah. At the time it was like 12, right? And the numbers didn't add up. And then I opened my big mouth. The state took their time. I signed the lease on the driving school and all the stuff, and the state's not coming. So I'm like, oh shit, you know, like I'm gonna lose this bet. Yeah. I got 9 months now. Mm-hmm. Finally, when they finally came and stuff, I got 9 months to get on the horse. Long story short,
ain't they?
Huh? Yeah. Oh man, I was looking out of the window like a puppy dog, like looking out my door, like anybody coming? Anybody gonna come? A school bus would pull up. full of kids that go next door to Subway. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, you guys could have just come in here and I hook you up with driver's licenses, you know. But anyway, cut to that after 105-hour work weeks and really doing everything in the business. I answered the phone. I was a receptionist. I was a instructor, classroom instructor, driving instructor. I did everything. I was able to pull it out. So we made $110,000 profit the first year.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I got the title. So,
Damn.
Yeah. So and 9 months.
I know you was hustling.
Yeah, because I at that point there was no losing. I couldn't lose.
Right.
Because I got laughed at.
Yeah. It kind of hurt your ego a little bit to lose.
Oh yeah. And then it really, there was some dark times. It was really.
I know. Like just like starting something off like for a year like that, and then like going through the aches and pains. That was your first time doing it, and then you say like putting in. I know you put a lot of hours. I know you weren't getting that much sleep.
No,
because you up from start to finish.
Yeah. So, and then dragging my daughter up there.
And then you had a 1-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my parents can only watch her so much, and then daycare, and then all kinds of stuff, and then there was times where I couldn't afford a receptionist, but I had to hire her to just watch my kid while I drove for 2 hours. And paying her like $7 or whatever the minimum wage was at the
yeah, like $7.25.
Yeah, whatever,
$7.25, $5.50,
whatever it was at the time. It was crazy, but yeah, I mean, I had to make it work, and I did, and it paid off.
And then when did you scale and get you open up another one?
It was right after that. I mean, I really got on it, and I wanted to expand it right away. I'm pretty ambitious, so.
Well, obviously, because you did it within a year, so you're putting that many hours in. Like anybody else, I'm like, fuck this, I can't do it. Like,
So I noticed that there was a lot of gaps, the driver's ed business. So I started making packages. I was just making up shit, really. I was like, because I'm a parent, and I was like, but my kid's a baby, but I was like, what can I do for the parents? And so we started making like accelerated packages or packages that were a little bit more for student athletes and et cetera and stuff like that. So it started creating a buzz around our area that you can go to Champions and they'll do it all for you.
Right.
And then we became the one-stop shop, and then it really started taking off from there. And then when we're able to do the driving tests.
Do y'all still do driving tests there?
Absolutely. I did over 20 tests today. Damn. That's what I was doing before I got here.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
It's nothing like getting in a car with a stranger and just hoping that they know how to drive. Yeah. By the way, I suffer from anxiety, so so very ironic what I do for a living.
Oh, man. So I'm sure you'd be sitting there like, fuck.
Yeah, well, human beings are very interesting people. So, I mean, we're very, interesting species. I mean, if you expect them to do well, and I think a lot of it's my attitude and the way I go in it. I go in it very positive. There's times, I'm like, I come back and, I'm like, just tell my staff, I need a minute, and I will go to the back, drink water, just kind of like, that was a close one, or whatever.
Almost got hit.
Yeah. It's it's but then it, not only that, it's these kids that they tell you like they're bullied or they're being abused or whatever, and you're like, what the heck? Like, I'm like, this is a lot to take on. Or like just the other day, I had a young lady. She's telling me how she was really nervous. I got her to calm down. And just talking to her like a person, just be like, hey, kind of human. Don't worry about it. This, you already know what you're doing. You did the work. All the paperwork says that you've done the work. Let's just show me the work. That's all you got to do. And then she just started crying about her mom has got breast cancer and her dad's got cancer. And I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, so what we're going to do first is parallel parking and to switch the gears and find when to do that and get themselves together. I think it's a skill in itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like you gotta, it's more than just driving. It look like you connecting with these people in this car.
Yeah, I definitely do. If not outside the test, and kind of humanizing it. You know, it is very sterile. You have to be fair, and you have to be biased, and you have to be. There's a lot of things you have to do because you have to follow the state's guidelines, and you can't, coach them in any way or anything like that. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to be nice,
Right.
you know. And I think that's separates my school from everybody else.
That what you bring, and I guess your attitude and your energy you bring, like more,
Yeah.
and also your dad too. So
Yeah, and I have a 60-year-old, so I'm
Yeah.
like right now I'm living it, you know.
Right.
So you know,
So you
very
understand-
relatable.
yeah, so you understand like what people are going through, or maybe not having a parent in their life, or
Yeah.
both parents, or
Yeah.
and they just trying to get to driving school because they trying to be on their feet. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this girl literally she dropped out of sports so she could help out her family.
Oh wow, that's rough.
17 years old, man.
Oh wow.
That's it ate me up. She's 1 year older than my daughter, almost to the day.
Damn.
Yeah, so it hit pretty hard.
Yeah, especially like you sit in the car, you probably trying to hold it together a little bit over there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot. It was heavy, you know. Yeah, but I mean, she got through it. She passed. You know, it had nothing to do with her story. She could drive, so she
It's like
passed.
it's more like personal. It was more than just about driving. Like
Yeah.
she had to make a sacrifice.
Yeah,
to help.
Yeah, and it's those appreciations that also the word of mouth spreads from my driving school. You know, they hear about that.
Right.
Because I think people at the end of the day, they just want a human experience. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of these places, they're so overwhelmed, they just become a number.
Mm-hmm.
You just become another product on the shelf. You know what I mean?
Like a checkout experience.
Just a checkout. Yeah, just like a self checkout.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sterile. You know,
Right.
if you go to the gas station and you buy a pack of gum and a bottle of water, do you say hello? Do you say hi to the guy? How was your day? Most people don't. Most people are on their phone. They just tap their phone.
Kind of an autopilot.
Yeah, they're on autopilot. They get it, they pay, they go, no receipt, it's on my phone, you know, and they just walk out. There's no
Right.
human reaction. So when I add that, I think I add a kind of an element that people are missing. So
It's like a connection because most people don't get it. Just like, for example, like people that work from home.
Yeah.
So they just don't see like a human to human like us talking.
Yes.
They mainly come either having a Zoom call with somebody or on the phone. But when it comes down to looking somebody in the eye and talking to them, not too many people get that. Not even with your Uber driver.
No, yeah. Oh man, he's like, "Would you like a bottle of water?" I'm like, "Man, I don't trust that water." You know what I mean? Or is the AC cool back there? I'm like, yeah, it's good. Yeah. I'm basically just trying to get this email out, brother. Just take me to the airport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But also, like, what different services that you offer within your driving school, like that makes it like that?
Well, okay,
separates you?
so we have a lot of packages, man. I mean, we have packages for everything. We have a drive-only package, is very popular. So if you can't go to our driving school and do the 32 hours of classroom, you can actually do a drive-only package. So you can do the online school. And my wife and I are right now currently developing an online school that's going to be very, very different. I think it's really going to change the game. It's going to be it's going to be a very interactive app.
Oh, an app too?
Yeah, it's gonna be yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be.
don't know too many driving schools that have an app.
Yeah, it's gonna be an app, and it's gonna be the platform on it. It's gonna be like a platform. It's almost gonna be like a social media type thing where you can actually take it with other people, like your friend group or whatever. It keeps everybody accountable also as well. And we're gonna add in some things that I really can't talk about right now. But it's gonna be a really really fun experience. I really think it's gonna do well. Yeah.
That sounds pretty like a scalable. So.
Yes, it's going to be, and I think kids need more interacting, because you can do online driver's ed, but like you just said, it's like a Zoom call. It's sterile. It's in front of your computer or you're on your phone. You can't wait for the video to end. You know what I mean?
And then just click.
Yeah, and are they really learning anything?
Probably not.
No,
until they get in the car.
Yeah, until they get in the car. Yeah. So when they get in the car with us, our instructors already know that. So they're just reiterating something, and maybe they're like, "Oh, I remember that from whatever," from that one video that I really wanted to fast forward.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're teaching them how to do the U-turn. They're teaching them how to lane change properly. Driving defensively is one of our biggest attributes. Yeah.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much is that same business model in both areas, or is it like a little different?
No, yeah, it's the same. So our driving schools they run the same. So it's it's the same business model for both of them. It's one of them has more packages than the other one, which is my Pinehurst location. But we're going to be adding some more for our Grant Road location as well.
So what would you say, like a ballpark and average on like revenue, how they do? Like, is it like a profitable business? Is it good?
It is.
Just in case if somebody interested in getting into that, like they don't drive.
Well, yeah. If they want to get into it, just be ready for the grind. Ready for, make sure you save your money. It's not always going to be a summer. Summers are really big for us.
Kids out of school.
Yeah, kids out of school. For my driving school, personally, just say it like this. We do over 8,000 driving tests a year.
8,000?
8,000. And they average about $80 to $100 per driving test.
Oh, wow.
And it's every 20 minutes.
Every 20 minutes.
And
that's some good numbers to do.
Yeah, and I tested today for like 6 hours. So.
Oh, wow. And they say every like 20 minutes?
Every 20 minutes, yeah.
Oh,
and then some days I test for 8 hours,
Oh, wow. So y'all just running.
And I do it 7 days a week. The only time I take off is when I travel. So what I try to do is I try to work about 84 days in a row. Mm-hmm. And then I take off to Europe or somewhere around the world for 2 weeks.
Then you hire somebody. Do you hire somebody to do it?
For the driving test, I'm currently the only one. Mm-hmm. So when I'm out of the country, it's we call it retooling. I let the staff kind of take a break of the constant overturn of customers, and we kind of just make sure that we got envelopes, make sure we restock everything, replenish everything, and then everybody kind of gets I'm not the only one on vacation. Mm-hmm. The staff is kind of like, whew.
Do you do that? I would think you would probably like take vacation like after the summer.
Yes, we're leaving. Actually, we leave for Mexico in a couple of weeks. We're gonna go do some Muay Thai in Mexico, in Tulum, and more training, and then a couple of days of recovery, and then.
How long are you planning on being out there?
Oh, it's only gonna be like a week in Mexico.
You made it seem like you're about to be out there for a month.
Well, in November we'll be leaving for Europe, and we'll be taking our daughter out of the country during the Thanksgiving break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do a little Thanksgiving outside the country.
Yeah, they don't really celebrate it over there, so it's a little different. Yeah, there's no Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's just not a thing. Yeah.
So what do you do like? What do you do like on your free time, like outside of like when you're not training or not working? So what do you do like to keep yourself like busy? Because I know you like to be on the go.
Well, normally a normal morning for me is get up. I go to my local coffee shop. I like to, because I like people. I like to interact with people. So even though I can make my own coffee at home, it's worth overpaying for coffee.
Yeah,
at my favorite coffee spot, to interact with the people, and talk to them and say hello. And then when I walk up, they already know what I want. So I just pay, I say hi, have a little conversation with them, ask them about their day. Like I said before, nobody does that anymore. So.
Oh no, I noticed. Yeah, let me tell you something before. So I was in the gym, I think like last week, and usually some of the regular people that I like speak to, but it's like sometimes the younger people, they not used to people talking to them, so they get like freaked out.
Yeah.
So I seen this girl in there. She was doing something wrong. How she had her back. She doing some rolls. Yeah. And she like had a back hunch instead of like locked, and so I didn't want to see her mess up her back. She's a young girl, so I went up and just said something to her. You can tell she was kind of like freaked out. She had no headphones on, but you can tell she wasn't used to like encounter. She used to just either phone. Maybe if I would have sent her a text, it probably would have been better.
She'd have been like, okay,
text, but like going up to her in person, like people like freak out. Or like one time I went to Sam's, I had an issue, and the guy, he used to be on a loudspeaker talking. I had a question for him, and he was kind of like freaked out a little bit. Like I just started him. Like you work in customer service, dude. Like people gonna tap you and ask you questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, that's why I say like people. It's like we
shut off the world. Almost.
Yeah, it is. It's like we at the age of convenience, and like things are just, I would say like dehumanized. I call it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that with every time we get more and more convenient with technology, I think we're losing ourselves a lot in it. Yeah. So I think we need to find that balance back.
I don't think it's getting back. It's not getting better.
The genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah, the genie's out of the bottle. AI is finna take over, and
right,
and like we just on an uptrend of. That's why I say the best thing to do for people is you gotta work out, like move your body.
Yeah, move your body as much as possible. Yeah, for sure.
But that's a definite thing about just what I have learned.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, as a young entrepreneur, like somebody's trying to get into like driving school? Because obviously it's pretty lucrative. Because when you think about it, you know,
everybody needs to drive in Texas.
Yeah, because also when you think about it, you know, sooner or later people need to drive.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, as long as people having babies, that keeps you in business.
Yes. Yeah. And the more elementary schools I see bring up, especially like Creekside and all this, and Tomball, they just opened 2 elementary schools. They're building an elementary and middle school, a new high school. I'm like, yes.
Does it make sense to like as having like owning like driving schools to like maybe partner with some of these high schools to maybe
we've tried that in the past. Private schools you can.
Public schools you can't.
Public schools is very, very hard. It's very hard.
Cookie cutter.
Yeah, well it's the I don't know. It's something with the tax office. I don't understand. Really.
You say tax office?
Yeah, they like I have to to talk to Tomball. I have to talk to Tomball Tax District
what kind
or
of
something
shit is
like
that?
I don't know.
I would think you had to go through the district or something.
No, I'm like it's between the principals. I mean, I talked to the Woodlands.
That's how you doing it, dropping out pamphlets like, hey, like we in the area.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's military and colleges.
Shitty. That's shitty.
Yeah, you know. So 2 institutions that really.
And you trying to help.
Yeah.
Like I don't see what's wrong with that.
I'm trying to get them to those institutions, because you can't. I mean, you can. I guess you could be in the military without a license, but most of them want a license.
Do you want to have a driving license instead of walking around with an ID? At least to show you've been proactive about just. Yeah. But I don't see what's the problem. You like dropping off your.
I don't know. But they'll take $1,500 to put my sign up on the outfield of the baseball field.
Oh yeah,
that's okay. But for me to drop off pamphlets or something like that. Yeah, it's a different experience, altogether. But I mean, I think if you just keep treating the kids and the parents the way we do, the word of mouth really travels a lot. And of course, we spend money on Google ads and stuff like that. Yeah.
Would you say what's like some like 3 core values you have to help you like get through things through like life, like because obviously you have some grit when you went through that the first year of like starting to drive.
Always finish.
So what were some like 3 core values you have that helps you get to where you are today as an entrepreneur? Yeah,
I mean, always finish something you started. I don't believe in not finishing. It's not even an option. If I start something, we're gonna finish it. And the other one is be accountable. If I make a mistake, because I'm not perfect, own it. I'm the first one to tell any of my employees, hey, I fucked this up. We need it fixed. I'm not going to say it's somebody else. I'm not going to put it on a parent. I'm not going to put it on the state. I'm not going to do anything. I'm like, hey, I fucked this up. Like, what's your idea? How can we fix this? Even though I've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it, I'll get a fresh perspective. What would you do? How would you handle it? And I'll talk to my office manager or my wife or somebody on my staff. I don't even ask a driver's ed instructor, which has nothing to do with my business model at all.
Right.
What would you do? And I mean, I guess I removed the ego from that point.
Yeah, that's and I'm big on that too. I'm big on putting my ego in the trash can so I can focus on what matters. Because most men, our egos get us in trouble. Like women emotions get them in trouble. Yeah. So I always tell guys like how I am, you gotta put your ego in the trash and look at things in a different way. Of
course.
Don't let your egos
it's really
get you killed. It is.
It's really hard. Yeah.
I don't think it's that. Well, to most men it's hard, but like when you been like as you been in your driving school and looking at things at the way you do, you have to put your ego in the trash because you with people, and it's like you can't be like, oh, well, I do cookie cut away. You wouldn't be in business as long. You wouldn't be doing as well as you're doing.
Yeah, you gotta definitely think outside the box.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and you definitely gotta. Yeah, the ego death is
you gotta be in the trash, man.
It's gotta be there.
Yeah,
I agree with you 100%. It's a lot easier now. It was harder back then.
Well, everybody started. We all started like I used to work in law enforcement before I got into health and fitness. So I used to have a big ego. You couldn't tell me shit and this and that. I'm big and bad. But once I got it as an entrepreneur, I don't know. It humbled me because I started looking at people. Because it's like when you get out of that box, you start to open up your vision a lot more. You see things through a different lens. Yes. So you see people the way they are, and you understand, like, it's all about like customer service. And like I always say, people will never forget how you make them feel. And I don't know, that always stuck with me. And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
And then when you look at that, people do remember that. I always remember how you make them feel, like the impact. So I'm always big on like treat people how you want to be treated, and do right by people, because you never know who knows who, and you never know if you may need this person to get through another door.
100%.
It goes a long way, man. I done met Brandon to somebody that I didn't think none of them like that, but I don't treat people bad, because you never know when you may see this person again, or you never know who may be vouching for you, or it may be an event, and you treat this person bad, and you're like, oh, don't fuck with that person. Yeah. So you never know who you may run into.
Yeah. That's a big one, yeah, for sure. You know, I agree with that. Yeah.
So outside of like your driving school, do you plan on getting into any other business? Or
yeah. My wife and I, we have some. We definitely have some things going on, some projects. We're looking at buying a franchise here soon. We're looking at expanding our location to the Woodlands.
Get another location?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Woodlands. That's for sure. We just haven't. We've been looking at some real estate out there, and we just haven't. We were giving ourselves till like maybe January, see how things are, see what the market's like.
Oh yeah, shitty market.
Yeah, I know, man. See how that stock market's going. You know, see how my portfolio's doing.
Right, you a heavy stock guy?
Yeah, I love it, man. That's what I was gonna get at. You know, after the coffee, once I get the caffeine in my hand, I start scrolling, start looking at what the markets are doing, and I do it at night too, because the foreign markets are, obviously if I'm up late, a little late, I look at see what the foreign markets do in Asia, Europe, and that don't really dictate what our U.S. market's gonna do.
Are you a long-term trader, option trader, or like what type of trader are you?
I'm a long-term trader. Day trading is great, but I don't like gambling. Yeah. It's fun, when you're winning. Right. But when you lose, oh man, you feel like shit.
But if you do the math, most people that day trade, they break even at the end of the day, end of the year.
And plus, I mean, day trading is as not if you're part of like a hedge fund and you're using other people's money, it's different. Yeah. But my wife and I, we only use our capital. So we don't do any margins. I don't borrow any credit. I don't do any of that stuff when it comes to stock trading, because that's gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah, get you in trouble. Yeah, because you can't predict the market.
You can't predict it. Yeah, I mean, we've been a Tesla investor for years, and we've got in early. But man, I love Elon, man. But oh my God, every time he sends a tweet, I'm like, my stomach starts hurting, my hands start sweating.
Like, shut up.
I'm like, dude, really? Did you have to say that? But I don't know. He's probably the greatest troll of all time. So
he's a smart guy. He just needs to learn how to like put a cap on it sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. But
so what would you say your investment portfolio is? It more like tech, more like health?
Well, tech for sure. We have a lot of tech stocks. I didn't when the pandemic happened. I did not get into like the Moderna or the Pfizer.
Them things took off.
Yeah, they did. But what people don't look at is so it's the small things. So if you want to look at a company as a whole, if you want to get into the medical field, or you want to invest into like a hospital or a big pharmaceutical rep, that's great. But one thing that always going on in hospital, what do they need to do when they need to sterilize things? Medical supplies. Yeah. Where are they sterilizing the medical supplies? Find that company. Look for that ticker symbol. Then the packaging of the medical supplies after they're sterilized.
It's kind of like backtracking. Doing that?
Yeah, you backtrack it. Yeah. Don't just buy the blue chip stock because everybody's buying Amazon. Like I mentioned earlier before we started
the boxes.
The boxes. Nobody knows where Amazon gets their boxes. By the way, it's it's International Paper. It's one of the companies. Wow. So I mean, and they're really big recycle company and stuff like that. They're all over the world. Yeah.
Is that ticker symbol doing pretty well?
I mean, it's doing well. I mean, it's
Is it growing?
I mean, it's definitely a big company. You know, it's huge. I mean, if Amazon's getting their stuff from there, but
they're supplying Amazon.
Yeah, they're supplying Amazon. Sure. So yeah, but I mean, it's another things. You can do robotics, and then a lot of Amazon's done by robotics. And look at who's servicing the robots, because the robots are going to break down. What company's doing that? Or the QR codes. QR codes are big right now.
Right.
Who's developing that software? And stuff like that.
That's a lot of backtracking. Like, for
it's
example,
a lot of backtracking. But if the stock is going down, the blue chip stock's going down. That doesn't mean that the other stock is not going down. You know what I mean? Because they're still supplying more than just Amazon.
Yeah.
They're supplying it's called international paper.
All over.
It's all over. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So you if you could take a little loss in the market, if your other little stuff is keeping you up, you know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah.
What would you say about a ballpark about how much you have in your investment portfolio?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a portfolio unless you have at least six figures in your if you have six figures, then you have a portfolio. If you don't have six figures, then you have a savings account that you can lose in a matter of a day. You
Call
know
it
what I
a
mean?
savings account.
Yeah, if you have less than six figures, I think it's a little bit different. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So I definitely, it's definitely I know people always say, well, it goes up and down, but I say long term, it always go up.
Yeah.
Cause especially if you invest in the right companies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now, like Apple's,
Apple's down right now.
Apple's down, but it's proven,
Oh, it's gonna go back up.
It wouldn't be
it's the best time to get in.
$1 trillion company. Yeah.
Best time to get in is now if you don't have a position in there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But most people don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But we've owned Apple stock for so long. We have lots of that. So
that's how you can tell those big stocks that own the market.
Plus, they pay dividends.
Especially the big stocks that own the market. Those are the ones that kind of move the market as well.
Yes, it definitely moves the market. It moves a lot. I don't know if anybody saw, but when there were some countries that are getting together to try to do some kind of digitalized central bank system, right?
Right.
And they're controversial, so I won't mention the countries, but Tim Cook was there. You know what I mean? So Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, is there for basically a bank that's going to be, that they're trying to make. So, I mean, Apple definitely moves the market. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, as we come to a close, one of my final questions is, what does a healthy, vibrant life look like to you?
Oh, man. That's a good question. I think I'm living it right now. I mean, I don't think I know I am. I think being happy. Are you happy? At the end of you can make money. You can have a beautiful wife or girl or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. You can have a good kid. You can have a good family. But are you happy?
Right.
Yeah. I think that's most important.
All right, so I'm gonna let you. We come to a close. I'm gonna let you try one of these collagens out. So, what flavor you want to check out?
Man, I saw you with the what's this one over here?
Peach mango.
Yes.
Want to try the peach mango?
Absolutely.
All right. Have you tried it yet?
No,
you
I
tried
haven't.
it?
No.
'Cause I know Bill have it at his spot.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
All right, let's check this thing out. Do you take collagen or anything like that?
I do actually. I do. Yeah. Mine's not flavored, so
I know it's probably unflavored, right?
It's gonna be a treat for me.
Well, the thing is about this, there's no artificial coloring in there.
Yeah.
There's no fructose or sucrose in there. So when you look at the overall picture of it, you got the top over there. So there's no artificial flavoring. There's no fructose or sucrose. It's stevia sugar, a more healthier form of sugar. And there's no amino acids or protein, nothing like that. It's straight collagen product, like skin hydration, hair, nails, and skin, bones, pretty much things of that nature in regards to what you're looking for. Shake it up pretty good. But yeah,
Tastes good.
Yeah, I give some to my daughter, man, rather than giving her some juice that has a whole bunch of sugar in there. And so, she loves it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And I also take care of my hair. And so, guys, we don't really take care of our skin like we should as women does. So this is rather than me putting so much like stuff on my face and have to oil my skin down. I just take some collagen, something I can drink on a day to day of that nature.
Man, I'm a fan now.
You see, you're a fan?
Oh,
you see why Bill has it in his.
For sure.
So I'm gonna come out with some more flavors, but right now, like I'm just scaling it right now, man. I love it. I just got in like about a year and a half, and I've been having fun with this journey with the collagen, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of people don't think about that. You know, their skin, is especially as we age.
Yeah.
So this is good.
So basically, what I tell people about like collagen, the best way I can tell you look at it, it slows down the aging process.
Correct.
And it's also give you the vitamins and minerals you need, like as supplements. Like you know this better than I do.
Yeah.
But if you don't get it in food, you're not gonna get it all, and you know what I mean. You're not gonna.
Yeah. So this is a good conduit to get.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, it tastes great.
All right, where can they find you at, Roel?
ChampionsDrivingSchools.com. You go to my Instagram, Roel Gianni. I also have a joint account with my wife, my beautiful wife. At Mr. and Mrs. International, because we travel all over the world.
Right. 44 countries,
44 countries, man. And growing. Yeah.
All right, so everything's going to be in the show notes. We have a promo code in there, so y'all make sure y'all check us out. And thank you for tuning in.